What's up everybody, it is I, Hero Vange, and welcome to my Fusion Cup Meta Simplified Guide, episode number 1. Now, this is it guys, we've made it to 2020, the first cup of the year, and it's looking pretty good. We're gonna talk about some really strong picks, like the standout picks that I think are gonna be meta. I think we're gonna talk about some side grades, okay? Some side grades, very important for you to find those nice synergies for the rest of your team, and also counters. Very important, right? And the counters have side grades, and we're gonna talk about all that. And my goal for this Meta Simplified Guide is to empower you guys with the base level knowledge that you're gonna need to make your team, right? To make like a starting team, and then you can basically like improve on that later on when you start figuring out like more advanced things. It's gonna be impossible for me to cover every single Pokemon, every single like change in moveset in this 3-part mini-series, right? But I think that I am going to give you some very valuable base level knowledge, and I'm gonna give you like a way to organize your thoughts so that you can basically like compare your picks, which are theorizing right now might be better than my picks, to my picks, right? And if they are better, there you go, then you found some secret sauce. Alright, so today we're gonna start off with PvPoke rank number 1 Pokemon, Altaria. Now, it seems like Altaria doesn't really have any side grades, right? It seems like, oh, it's its own thing, it does, you know, the job the best out of all the things that are laid out in the meta. But the thing is, I've actually found one good side grade, like a fantastic side grade that I think might be even better, and that is the other big bird in the meta, NOCTOWL. So we're gonna compare and contrast these two Pokemon in this episode. That's it, that's all we're gonna talk about, right? And then in episode 2 we're gonna talk about the counters for these Pokemon, like hard counters to these Pokemon. Alright, and when it's out, it's gonna be right there. Alright, and then for episode 3 we're gonna talk about the water, grass, and fire types, right? Or grass, fire, water, yes, the elementals which counter the things that counter these Pokemon, or like basically everything else in the meta. Alright, and when that's out, alright, be patient, it's gonna be right there, okay? Now, if you're wondering which moveset should I use for this Pokemon, which moveset is he talking about like with these Pokemon, well, it's all in the pinned comment down below, alright? So check out that pinned comment because there's some notes there that will help you out. So this is what I'm gonna do to help you organize your thoughts in a really like systematic way, right? We're gonna go through the matchups in a very patterned format, right? We're gonna go grass, fire, water, flying, fairy, steel, and then we're gonna do it like this. We're basically like comparing the matches. Oh, does Altaria have this matchup? Does NOCTOWL have this matchup? So that you can clearly see that, oh, this one's better at this thing, right? Or this thing is better than this thing for my team because my team's a little bit weak to this Pokemon type of thing, right? And that's gonna help you like synergize really well. You can take screenshots anytime, and yeah, let's get into it. For the grass types, I've got Venusaur, Shiftry, and Breloom, right? They do different things because of their secondary typing, right? And we're gonna talk about these Pokemon in the episode 3, alright? So the two big birds, they've got the grass types. There's no real like comparison here. Honestly, they got this. Both the big birds have the grass types down so well that you actually don't really need to block. You can actually opt not to block as long as they, you know, block once. If they block twice, block once, that type of thing. Just keep one shield down, right? But you have to make sure that you have fantastic IVs, just so that you can survive whatever they throw. It's pretty close for like all the matchups, right? Shiftry gets super close, like single digit HP, but as long as you have like fantastic PvP IVs, which you probably already do, you can like opt not to block. Alright, so they're both fantastic grass types players. Now for the fire types, they've got it. They've got it. Even with the fire types, they don't need to block, and this is really nice because you don't want to get farmed down by a certain Pokemon that we'll talk about in the next episode, right? But yes, keeping your HP low after you kill these guys and giving yourself like basically the shield advantage is fantastic, right? So yes, definitely like don't block with Altaria. Charizard, you don't need to block. Just make sure you have fantastic PvP IVs, alright? With Alolan Marowak, you also don't need to block. And the thing is, you're left with like a good amount of HP, right? So Yeah, with both of them, right? NOCTOWL and ALTARIA. So don't block. If they block twice, that's great, right? That's friggin' great. Just farm this down and like devastate the rest. Now this right here is where they differ, and this is where I think a NOCTOWL is a much better choice, right? Because ALTARIA is double weak to ice. It loses to the water types, right? With Whiscash, it can go straight Blizzard for the kill on ALTARIA. And yeah, unless you block twice. If you want to block twice, but that's gonna be bad. That's gonna be really, really bad, right? So yeah, and then to compare and contrast with NOCTOWL, it can actually survive a Blizzard, right? If Whiscash can get this through, it'll still survive. So if you're able to block this 122 damage charge attack, you're gonna come out looking really, really healthy. The best play if you're on Whiscash's side, let's say your Whiscash is up against the NOCTOWL, no choice, right? You don't want to swap out. You just go straight Blizzard just to make sure that you hit the Blizzard, right? But it's gonna survive. And then with Poliwrath, since Mudshot is now non-legacy, it can actually outspeed ALTARIA to the second Sky attack to kill it, right? So in a fresh match, yeah, you've got that. Poliwrath is a bad switch in though. These are softer counters, these are like checks, right? And with NOCTOWL, you can survive it. And you can actually come out with like a big chunk of HP, 103 HP. So, you know, there's a big difference between NOCTOWL and ALTARIA here. Now, this is definitely like one of the bigger things that kind of like turned me towards NOCTOWL and started to make ALTARIA look kind of stinky, right? Kind of stinky, but this is not even it, right? There's more. These Pokemon are softer counters, right, to ALTARIA. They're bad switch-ins, but the thing is, are they gonna be possibly meta? Are you gonna encounter them? My assessment, and this is coming from like a constant lurker. Okay, I'm everywhere. All right, I am on your Discord. I am on your Reddit post. I am on Twitter. I am a constant lurker. I'm gonna say yes. These are looking very, very popular. Okay, so I think that this is like a big thing, especially like with how big the differences are in the matchups. If you're able to block the Blizzard, right? And let's say your opponent doesn't know like the double Blizzard type thing, you can come out with like a thick a thick amount of HP on your NOCTOWL. And with Poliwrath, either way, you're gonna come out with like a thick amount of HP, right? So with NOCTOWL, and then with the ALTARIA, you lose. This is a big thing, and again, this is not the only thing. Again, these are just like softer counters. Moving on to the flying types, NOCTOWL loses to ALTARIA, but the question here is, how bad? How bad does it lose to ALTARIA? This is honestly like not an IV thing, but we'll do it like this. Default stats, right? So we're gonna run it. How close is it? It's actually, it seems like it's not close, right? It seems like, oh, 33 HP, alright, get owned, NOCTOWL. But the thing is, NOCTOWL has a charged up Sky attack, right? Worth 43 damage. Okay? If you maximize the stats, can NOCTOWL get to it? Can NOCTOWL get to like that, what is it, third Sky attack for the kill? The answer is no, but the thing is, like, theorize, okay? If ALTARIA swaps in on NOCTOWL, if it gets one fast attack, guys, it will kill ALTARIA, right? Just that one, you just gotta pep and then kill it, right? If you lag even a little bit, if you lag with your ALTARIA, you miss one Dragon Breath, guys, it kills it by Dragon Breath, okay? If you miss one Dragon Breath, you will lose to NOCTOWL. So it's really not that bad. And here's the thing, right? There are monsters in our community, guys. There are like technically gifted people who can figure this out in some way. Maybe like let's throw a back-to-back Sky attack with the NOCTOWL. Maybe that'll do it type of thing. Maybe that makes ALTARIA lose like one Dragon Breath. It doesn't get a Dragon Breath through in the middle of the charge attack type of situation. Or maybe like, you know what? Let me try to QSA this thing. Technically gifted people will probably be able to pull this off, okay? So is it a reliable matchup? I don't think so. I really don't think so. And I live in the Philippines, all right? The internet here sucks, okay? So but what about harder counters, Vange? Fairies, guys, take a look at that. It is not a dragon. And that's great! That's actually fantastic! Well, here's the thing, right? I feel like the fairies are gonna trend down because there's a lot of steel, right? But the thing is, Wigglytuff here. Wigglytuff, I think, is gonna be still meta relevant, right? But we'll talk about it, okay? In the second episode, okay? But because NOCTOWL is not a dragon, it has much better fairy type coverage. With Wigglytuff, it loses, right? NOCTOWL loses to Wigglytuff, but the thing is, Wigglytuff has to block. Alright, so this automatically gives you something, right? The thing is with Altaria, Wigglytuff does not have to block. Okay? It just takes it down. It can take this sky attack. It's actually like, well, it's got a lot of HP, right? So that's still like a big difference between NOCTOWL and Altaria. Now with the Alolan Ninetales, it depends. If you are running a Powder Snow variant, yes, you lose. Alright, you lose to the Powder Snow variant, but the Charm variant, which I think is the much better Alolan Ninetales, but we'll talk about that in the second episode. You don't. You actually win, right? Even with the Psyshock. Yep, you pick up this win. And obviously, Altaria here loses to both variants, right? But again, I think that the Charm variant is the much better variant, but we'll talk about it in episode 2, okay? So again, a massive difference. Now honestly guys, Togekiss here is not my charmer of choice. It really isn't, but the thing is, it's here because it's got flamethrower, right? So after you farm down, let's say Altaria, you can kind of like flamethrower the incoming steel type. That's nice, right? But honestly, like the matchup profile's not that great. Against NOCTOWL, it loses. Obviously, I don't even have to show you the Altaria. It wins. Now a lot of you are gonna look at this and think, Charmers, I mean there's a bunch of steel types, are the Charmers gonna be meta relevant? I'm gonna tell you right now, yes, I think that Wigglytuff is gonna be meta relevant, but not just because of the Altaria matchup, not just because of this matchup. There's something else that they do that the steel types don't. And finally guys, we are at the steel types, and I mean, it's not a competition, right? It's just they lose. But the thing is, Altaria actually picks up the win here in the zero shield scenario. Like Bronzong doesn't need to block NOCTOWL, okay? Doesn't need to block NOCTOWL, and yeah, for Altaria, Bronzong actually has to block once, right? So you can do this, right? No shielding on Altaria and kill Bronzong. The thing is, Bronzong has to shield once if it wants to kill you, right? So that's something. That's definitely something very specific though, but is it like a big is it a big deal? I would say yeah. It's still a pretty big deal. Bronzong generally like wins, right? One shield, but if you're in the zero shield scenario, you can kind of pull it off. Maybe you can use that. You can use that for sure. Here's another interesting nugget of knowledge here, all right? Probopass, okay? With just Rock Throw, okay, take a look at this. It can take out Altaria, but it comes out with 8 HP, right? With NOCTOWL, with 117 HP, it comes out with 61. You come out with so much more HP in the NOCTOWL fight that you're probably gonna get to throw even more, right? So that's another little thing that Altaria has. Okay, it has less HP when it comes out of the Altaria fight. NOCTOWL fight, it's very dangerous because it's loaded up, plus it's got like a decent amount of HP, so it's kind of like a bad setup for a sweep. Now with the Alolan Sandslash, there's not really that big of a difference. It's basically the same. Sandslash doesn't have the block. Actually, don't block. Don't waste the shield. You lose, just take it. Just take it, okay? But it's not that big of a difference, like they both lose. So alright, so these birds are looking like snacks to the steel types. I guess Altaria is a little bit spicier, but I mean, I like spicy. It's got a little bit more kick, okay? But they still both lose. Is it enough to regain the skies from NOCTOWL? Is it, enough to snatch back that chain from the NOCTOWL? I would say no. I still think that NOCTOWL is the bigger, badder predator, and yeah, I don't think that this redeems Altaria. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you learned something. Remember to leave a like, comment down below, Altaria or NOCTOWL. After you heard all this, Altaria or NOCTOWL? Comment down below, right? And then tell me why. Tell me why, okay? I'm gonna have episode 2 and 3 out soon. Alright, just be patient. It'll be out before you know it. And yeah, happy holidays, everybody. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Ding that notification bell. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye, guys.